Let me talk to you about how your mind works so that you can achieve whatever goals you want, make any change that you want. The way your subconscious mind works is that anything new or different initially feels wrong and bad and dangerous. And you'll hear thoughts that tell you not to do it, and you'll get feelings that tell you not to do it. But you can be independent of that. Step back and say, well, no, I really thought this through and I want to do it. And if you thought it through and you know it's the right thing to do, guess what? Fake it till you make it. Force yourself to do it anyway. The way our subconscious was wired is that you're going to be uncomfortable with something new for pretty much exactly 21 days. And after you force yourself to do it for 21 days, it starts to feel comfortable. As a matter of fact, that starts to become a new habit, and pretty soon you can get to the point where you don't feel right if you don't get up and jog every day for 20 minutes. So it's unrealistic to believe that all you have to do is say, this is what I want, and make a plan and set it out and make steps. That's important, but it's not enough. In the end, that's just your conscious mind making a plan. In order to follow through on it, you have to program your subconscious mind, and the only way to do that is through practice and repetition for 21 days. The number one thing that I would suggest that everyone do in order to be able to have a vision and follow it is to begin to know the difference between the voice in your head that is just your subconscious tapes and programming that basically got programmed in there by the time we were 4 years old. Knowing the difference between those tapes that are playing in there that are your survival mechanism, that are just telling you how to survive. You know what? You have amazing skills and talents for a reason. I would take an inventory of what are your skills and talents. What are the things that you love to do? Let's say that you had no responsibilities. You didn't have to go to school, you didn't have to pay any bills, you didn't have to be responsible to anybody. If you just had every need and want taken care of, what would you do with your days? Day in and day out. What would you get up? What would motivate you to get up out of bed in the morning? Those are your passions. And just do an inventory. Generally, you can find your passions in the things that you do a lot, the things that you like to do, and your skills and talents. Take an inventory of your talents, the things that you love to do. 2, take a look at what aspect of that talent people would pay for. Find a need out there in society for that particular talent, and then you can find a career that meets that need if your goal is a career. But basically, for success, step number 1, just do some brainstorming. I use this technique of mind mapping where I put a circle in the page and just kind of branch off, let my brain flow into all the things that I want to do. And then step number 2, subgroup these big ideas into some main areas of your life. Now, I am a coach, but I'm also a motivational speaker, and I love traveling, so I got a job that allowed me to travel for a living. But I also love new experiences and new places, so I hike, and I actually do a blog on like restaurants and travel. So what I did was I actually just compartmentalized and found about 5 or 6 areas of passion in my life. Only one of them has to be my career. And then the rest of them can be other things that make me happy and make me a whole person. Once you've subgrouped them, then kind of prioritize and decide in what order you want to get started. You can work on many of them at a time, but you do have to break them down into steps. What one step do you have to take to get started on this one? My first job was a project manager, and my boss said, human beings cannot do projects, they can only do tasks. So break your projects down into tasks. In other words, what is the one step that I can take today to get close? So define what you want, organize those thoughts a little bit, and then break them down into the individual steps that you need to take. Get those steps scheduled into your day to where they're very, very doable, and then realize that you're going to feel resistance from your subconscious. Fake it till you make it. Force yourself to do it anyway. And once you've done it for 21 days, now you're starting to create that habit, and your habits are who you are.
Sherry, thank you so much for your time. Joining us today was very inspiring, very motivating, and I would recommend everyone to check out the write-up for some resources and references recommended by Sherry. And as well, Sherry has a lot going on, very busy, and you can kind of get in touch with her through her website at sherryprindle.com. So again, thank you so much for joining us. Until next time.